Hi there, Cindy Dole, and this is Hour 2 of Home Wizards, your radio home for all things home, garden, and life improvement. We are having fun and so glad that you can share part of your Saturday with us, because this is the place where we, unlike TV, you can talk back to us as we discover new ways to make your home and your life better, all things home, garden, and life improvement. And speaking of TV, what will we do without the show This Old House and Norm Abram? He's going to be joining us any moment because not only is he a guy that can wear flannel really well, he loves those flannel shirts. He's just a sweetie, and he's America's favorite carpenter, and he's going to talk about why This Old House, all the guys are coming to Silverlake for the first time in a long time, if not forever. They are renovating this home that they selected out of a lot of different people that submitted their entries to see if these guys could come and help them finish their historic renovation. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then later in the show, we're going to talk about solar. We have solar panels in our home, but have you thought about doing something with solar? If so, what's it going to save you? What's it going to cost you? And what do you do if all of a sudden you have solar panels on your roof and then now you've got to replace the roof? So we're going to talk with someone who is really on the cutting edge of technology. This is on the heels of this great solar conference that we went to this past week in L.A. Boy, thousands and thousands of people all tied to the solar industry from all over the world. So we'll be talking about that soon. Now, before we get to Norm, I just want to make sure, did you guys go through the earthquake drill like you were supposed to this past Thursday? It was the California Great Shakeout at 10:21 on 10:21. You forgot? Well, I hope you'll go back to the website. Go to cindydole.com. You can listen to the special that we did. Last Saturday was great. We had all these seismologists. We had the state seismologist. We had, of course, Dr. Lucy Jones from Caltech. Love how she plays the earthquake game with her family. She says that whenever they're out, you knew they were going to do this. Whenever they're in a mall or a theater, they say, okay, what would we do now? If the big one hit now, where would we go? Where would we drop, cover, and hold on? And so it's kind of a good mental exercise. If you did forget to participate in the great shakeout, spend some time this weekend. Go to the website. Go to the shakeout website. Go to my site, cindydole.com. Listen to these experts. Put together your kit. And remember that you have to physically go through the drop, cover, and hold on exercise so that when you are in the earthquake, subconsciously you'll just know instinctively what to do. It isn't like, oh, now what do I do? I mean, you don't want to run outside. You don't want to stand in the doorway, all that stuff. Drop, cover, hold on. All right, so without waiting any much longer, let's get to America's favorite carpenter. Who doesn't love this old house, and who hasn't dreamed of having their home renovated and worked on by Norm Abram?
This old house wants new children. This old house wants new wife. This old house was home of comfort as we fought the storm light.
So, gosh, I mean, so many people, I'm guessing, submitted their entries because this is the first time ever. It's happening in L.A. We in La La Land are going to be featured, well, not we, but a house. It's actually in Silverlake. They're going to be part of the This Old House renovation show. Why did they pick this particular house? Who all else was submitted? And it's all going to come together on a show on PBS that we love in January. So I thought it would be fun to have Norm join us and give us a sneak preview. So, hey, Norm, thanks for joining us Saturday.
Hi, Cindy. Glad to be there.
You got it. So have you already seen the house in person
yes,
yet?
I have.
Yeah?
We were out there at the beginning of September. We came out and started shooting the first show, the as-is, and we met the homeowners. We stopped at a couple spots on our way up to Silver Lake to give people a sense of where we are in California. And it's one thing to have the producers come back and show us the various projects that they're looking at and, sort of put our 2 cents in as to which one we think is going to be the favorite, and then get out there and actually see it and meet the homeowners.
Mm-hmm. And so who picked the winner?
Well, it's a joint decision. The producers, Deb Hood, who's our series producer, went out and went through hundreds of entries.
Yeah.
Went and visited several different locations, trying to look for something that would fit our schedule and what we're trying to do and what we'd like to see. Something different. We're always looking for something different. And then she brings that back, and we all take a look at the various projects, and there's a bit of a committee process that goes on. And a couple other people went out. Our series director went out. Our VP of television went out. And fortunately, everyone felt that this was the house. I felt it was the house that we should do, and Kevin and I were even more convinced the first day we were there. The house is great. The homeowners are great. The project is going to be good. I mean, it's a very small house, and it's going to have a very modest addition.
So this, the rules were that the house had to already have something in motion, right? A project was already going on. The scope had to be just right. Not an entire house renovation, but more than a kitchen, right?
Right. I mean, generally speaking, because of our TV production schedule, it's good to have a project that's very close to starting or just about ready to go. And Kurt and Mary had been, thinking about this for a long time. They had an architect, they had a builder, they had it pretty much together in what they wanted to do. And the house was so charming and so special for the neighborhood, and very much the type of thing we like to do. It's a Spanish colonial revival, and of course the Silverlake neighborhood has a lot of modern houses as well. And we did a modern house a few years ago in the Boston area. So we were really looking for something like their house, that Spanish colonial revival, the tile roof, the stucco exterior, in a nice neighborhood. And surprisingly, they have a very nice backyard, considering how close most of the houses are in that area. So it fit the bill perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the picture of the exterior. I mean, it looks pretty already. So,
oh, yeah. Well, if you go on the website, or if you go into the This Old House website, you can, on the home page, you can click on to the webcams, and you can see how much progress has already been made in the last few weeks, several weeks, a couple months, actually. The day we filmed the first program there, the contractor, he knows that this is we really challenged him on this one and said, we have to have this done by late January, early February at the latest to meet our TV production schedule.
Nothing like a TV deadline.
Nothing like a TV deadline to get a construction.
Yeah.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And, this is a job that would probably take 3 or 4 months longer in the real world schedule. And he was chomping at the bit, basically saying, you guys, are you done looking at what this place is like before we start? Because we got to get in there. And literally, the moment we're done filming the tour through the house as it existed when we start the project, he was in there taking off doors, and the dumpster was there, and the demolition crew was ready to go.
Oh, wow. And so what is it about this family and this house, then, that made it so special?
Well, the house is in really good condition, considering its age. It was built in the 30s. Fortunately, no one really messed with it very much. The floors are beautiful. It's got these arched doorways. It's got the clay tile roof that I mentioned. Mm-hmm. Yet it has remnants of the original kitchen, which is very, very tiny. It had one of those California coolers in it. And there's so little, which is now, I think it's like the liquor cabinet.
Oh.
And it had so little room in the kitchen that they actually had a separate room just off the kitchen with the refrigerator and the dishwasher, and no counter space. It really needs to be enlarged because the family is growing. They already have a young daughter now, and they're expecting addition to the family right about the time we're going to finish the project.
Oh, won't that be nice?
That would be nice. And the bathroom was absolutely original, the original tile throughout. It's a large bathroom by what I would consider 1930 standards, but the shower was starting to leak badly, and it's just not right for the way they're going to live today. They need more bedroom space. They need additional bathrooms. It's only 1,500 square feet.
Mm-hmm. Well, when we come back, Norm, we're going to talk a little bit more about the budget that was set. And, of course, you're listening thinking, do they get all this for free? Not necessarily. You're listening to Home Wizards. We're talking with the one and only Norm Abram, because this old house is coming to L.A. Cindy Dole. We're back after this. Welcome back. Cindy Dole here. We always need our friends, and that's why we call this Home Wizards. This is how we do it. We're here to help you enjoy the spaces you call home, inside and outside. And wouldn't it be fun if all of a sudden Norm Abram just knocked on your door and the entire guys from this old house? That's what's happening to this lucky family in Silverlake, and Norm Abram is here to tell us. So, Norm, when you first showed up, they must have been ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty excited, and it's always interesting the first day you get to work with the homeowners, how they feel about their home and what their dreams are. And they were really easy to work with. they knew what they wanted. They were very friendly, and as you said, they were very happy to see us arrive at the front door.
Did they make you a sandwich?
No, but we sat around and had lunch with them, and you get to know them a little bit better.
I mean, you got to feed the help, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So how much physical, hands-on help will you have in this project? Are you more consulting, or are you really, truly getting in there?
Yeah, well, in the New England projects, I truly get into it.
Mm-hmm.
On the remote projects where we're out of the Boston area, there's a little bit more of, just hosting it and seeing things. In the first program, I went with Steve Palran, who's from Homefront, who is the contractor, the general contractor on the project, and went to see a project that he had underway. And we always do that for a couple reasons. One, to sort of qualify the contractor in our own mind, and secondly, to show the type of work he's doing, what we might be seeing in the future. In the particular project that I toured with him, he was doing a lot of earthquake retrofit on a home.
Oh,
and we know we're going to be doing a lot of that on our project as well.
Timely, yeah. Because
and to see how he deals with the neighborhoods. I mean, we have problems here in the Boston area trying to find parking and places for the construction vehicles and the dumpster and so forth. But out where you are, I mean, the hills, the curvy roads, the streets, and the tight yards where there's no space to get equipment around the back, and a lot of things are physically handled by hand, literally carried back and forth in these buildings. So it's a different process than what we see, and that's what we like to show our viewers.
So what is the budget for this renovation?
We generally don't talk about the budget.
Oh, okay.
One, because these shows repeat years and years into the future, and the numbers really don't make sense. And so for the privacy of the homeowners as well, that our show is really more about ideas, new technology, design ideas and building ideas and new materials that are available. We don't expect everyone who watches the show to, do an entire renovation like we're doing. We're hoping that just what we do in the kitchen will inspire people to do things
of course.
Of their own.
Well, I just asked that because when you think about a project, especially a historic renovation, there's going to be some budget changes, and you wonder if it'll stay on time. But it has to be on time and on the money because it's on TV. And so
it will be on time. And generally, what we find with our homeowners, especially with back here when we're working with Tom Silva, who's our general contractor on the projects in New England, and I'm sure the same is true with Homefront, is that these people are so good at what they do that the homeowners, they realize, while we got them here, let's make sure we take care of everything we want done, because this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Now, so speaking of which, I mean, it isn't like the homeowner has won the lottery and they get everything for free. They have to pay for most of the stuff, or they're getting some deals, right?
That's true. I mean, there are some benefits. The way I look at it is that there is a certain amount of product that's donated to the project. We certainly don't force anything on people. If they don't want it, that's fine. If they want it, they get that benefit. They do have to pay a tax on those. It is considered a gift as far as the IRS is concerned. But really, the real benefit is that, they're working with a top-notch contractor and who realizes, this is a job that has to be done on time, and they're also people that we feel they're not going to cut any corners. They're going to do it the right way, no matter how tight the schedule is. That's what Tommy does, and that's what we expect Steve to do up in Silver Lake. So they get the best of everything. They get the best people. They get it done on time and on budget.
I mean, that alone is so huge. I mean, even, we love the TV show, but even without the show, just having it done properly and on time,
right.
how lucky.
There is a little trick to the TV show, and that is, the last thing one of your subcontractors wants to hear on this old house is, we were going to talk to the electrician today, but he didn't show up.
Oops. Yeah, that is...
So they're always there with extra people on time.
And shiny, and their hair is all fluffy, and their shirts tucked in and all that. All right, when we come back, one quick break, we're going to have one more segment, a little bit, talking with Norm about what else to expect with this old house, the renovation going on in Silver Lake. You mentioned that there's some new technologies. I want to hear how they're going to maybe bring a little green into the 1930s home that is so lucky in Silver Lake to be getting the help from the This Old House team. You're listening to Home Wizards, Cindy Dole, more with Norm Abram, as we turn back time on this great classic house after this.
If I could find